In the Colorado mountains, the Stanley Hotel rises from the fog like a polished memory from another century. To most visitors it is a grand resort of white walls, wide halls, and old-world elegance. To others, it is a place where the air seems to remember things the living have forgotten. The hotel opened in 1909, built by businessman freelance Oscar Stanley as a retreat for America's wealthy and curious. In its early years, musicians played in its rooms, politicians gathered in its lounges, and the sound of laughter carried through its corridors. But after the glamour faded, a different kind of history began to gather there, one told in whispers by staff and guests who did not know one another, yet described the same impossible details. A pianist would hear notes drifting from the main hall long after midnight, though the benches were empty. Children were said to run through the corridors before dawn, their footsteps quick and bright, followed by silence when anyone turned to look. Some guests woke to find their luggage arranged with unsettling care, as if an unseen hand had unpacked and repacked their lives while they slept. Lights flickered on and off without warning. Doors opened and closed with no one near them. Each incident alone could be dismissed. Together, they formed a pattern. In the winter of 1974, Stephen King and his wife arrived near the end of the tourist season, when the hotel had thinned down to a few staff members and long, empty hallways. He stayed in room 217. That night he dreamed his son was fleeing through the corridors, pursued by something he could not see. When he woke, frightened and unsettled, he began writing down the image that would become The Shining. The novel would later turn the Stanley into a landmark of horror, but that fame deepened in older mystery rather than creating it. Room 217 became the center of the legend. Long before King's visit, a cleaning woman named Elizabeth Wilson had been injured there in a gas explosion in 1911 and somehow survived. Years later, guests began reporting a faint perfume in the room when no flowers were present. Some claimed they felt a woman's presence calmly folding clothes at the foot of the bed. Others heard soft footsteps crossing the floor in the dark, then stopping at the door. No camera, tape, or official report ever proved the stories, but none fully erased them either. The music hall drew its own attention. Employees said the piano sometimes seemed to play by itself, as if testing a melody remembered only by the building. Photographs captured blurred shapes near the stage and in the corners of hallways. Experts offered ordinary explanations such as reflections, dust, and long exposures. Yet the images lived on because people prefer a mystery that breathes to an answer that does not. An investigation of the hotel leaves three kinds of evidence. There are witness accounts, numerous and sincere, though impossible to verify. There are photographs and recordings, most of which can be explained by technical causes.